versus either Innovation or Crank, or whether Ryung will take a solid 3-0 here.
Impact
and he
is
might.
hard-pressed.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's ridiculously hard to come back from this. Let's see if it's possible. To the northeast position on Fighting Spirit, ladies and gentlemen. Currently up 2 games in this best of 5 series. In the baby blue, playing Terran, it's Axiom Ryung. Versus his opponent to the southeast position. In the not-so-baby blue. I hate it when players do this, don't you? Pick very, very similar colors to each other. It's like,
I actually don't mind it.
I personally despise it, so...
If it were to be, like, okay, in Brood War, you could pick green. You could be green. Like, your color is just green. But it would be, like, the same green that was the terrain color.
Oh, God.
So, for, like, melee and customs, I would specifically pick green, because your units blended in so well.
Oh, man.
On the mini-map, it was absurd.
Without strong team colors, if you want a nightmare, you play Zerg versus Zerg, and you play it on Cloud Kingdom, and you play it between a red player and a purple player. Good luck seeing anything
Both
on that
players
map.
just build roaches.
Pretty much, yeah. And like they fight on creep, so you can barely see anything. It's horrible. Just horrible.
The entire map is just creep tumors, and they don't build overseers.
Oh, God. That's a caster's nightmare right there. Whoever brought us strong team colors, which of course currently is RTS Shudder alongside the Gameheart team, they are geniuses, and I love them very much for that. But before that, we did see some of those, and it was a nightmare. And the default colors were red and blue, which was actually not that good. Red and blue on certain maps, especially if Zerg was involved with creep, was quite hard to see.
Doesn't that also have an issue with, like, colorblind as well?
It absolutely
RG,
does, yes.
red-green colorblind.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if there's a red-blue colorblind.
So I think there is. I use like a yellow-purple for contrasting.
Yeah, that works pretty well. There are certain colorblindness. There's a couple of different colorblinds. There is obviously red-green, I think is the most common.
That's the absolute most common.
Yeah, and then there is blue-yellow colorblindness, which I imagine could probably be an issue if you went blue-purple. But I don't think there's I don't think there is anything... The other combination's probably not. I don't think there's yellow-red colorblind. Pretty sure that doesn't exist.
Yeah, it's interesting. And what I love about SE2, actually, is that how the graphics are done, just the aesthetics, you can play on snow maps, where in Brood War, you tended to shy away from snowy maps because just the contrast, it was just way too white.
Too high.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely blinding. It reminds me of playing the Battlefield 3 beta.
Oh,
no,
God.
Battlefield Bad Company 2. That was the one. You remember the snow map on Bad Company 2 that was in the demo? Oh, God, that was blinding. I had to turn the camera all the way down just for that map because you went out there. Oh, yeah, that's a ridiculously early layer. Again, actually, we saw an early layer from Impact last time, too. So, are we going to see the same style again, 2-base Muta, or are we going to see something else?
I believe it's probably going to be Muta. I can't see it being Hydra at this point. I feel like he should have put his Hydra in already if he was expecting to morph it to a Lurker anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Lurker morph time is ridiculously long, so it does seem like the kind of thing you want to do. Slow Vultures on the way out, and they'll do a little bit of harass here. The question is, does he intend to commit to mech? He is actually building 2 more Vultures.
Yeah, really good for just some early map control against, especially against slowlings. And
yeah, definitely.
When you feel like your opponent just won't have that many lings and he's feeling more eco-focused. Oh, sick wall.
Ryung!
Very cute.
Ryung! Silly
whoa! The queen, come on. You gotta deal with that vulture. Don't slack on your job. There we go.
Only 1 worker killed, so...
Queens are effective.
Yeah.
Can't deny that.
Pretty good. Well, Ryung is able to run his vultures into the base and achieve absolutely nothing. He does see the Hydra Den coming down at the front. And we will not see mech. There's another barracks coming down, so it's pretty much the same build Ryung used last time. And this time around, though, we are going to see 2-base Lurker for the time being.
Impact almost got a read on his opponent, but 2 Marines shoved it away. Didn't see that high ground CC. Didn't see the composition of his opponent going full bio. Has no idea what he's doing.
He should be alright, though. I mean, the last time around, he went 2-base Spire against a full bio comp, which wasn't going to work. This time around, he's going what looks to be Lurker drop versus a full biocomp, which can work.
it can still be scary, because if he leaves himself too vulnerable at his front door, and he doesn't know his opponent is actually gearing up a pretty mean bio push. So, definitely some room for some things to go wrong. But
yeah,
the initial build itself isn't too shabby against defending against early bio pushes, just because he's got the lurkers in play.
Yeah. So we'll see whether or not Ryung... I mean, Ryung has got to suspect it. He saw the Hydra Den going down. He just scans and gets the Lurker nest. So, yeah, there's no way in a million years he's not going to know what he's up against. The concern for him is how he deals with it, though. Oh, hang on. There's a Spire coming down as well.
I like it. You're Zerg. You tech switch. It happens.
And I would love to see some awesome Muta Harass combined with Lurker positioning. That could be ridiculous.
Oh, if he just goes... If he manages to keep his opponent sitting back and not pushing, then he can just hit from every single angle with dropped Lurkers and Mutas. That's a dream. That is really ideal if you're able to pull it off. But usually just Terran won't let you get away with that, because usually they go for your throat if you're trying to tech up that hard.
Yeah, I mean, Impact is already going to have to handle that. This time around, no barrel stabilizers from Ryung, but he was thinking, alright, well, I probably don't need them as much because I don't see Mutalisks or anything along those lines, but Lurkers are already done, and honestly, we saw a great job of Impact clearing out the map, getting rid of the vultures by using those speed links, gaining map control, taking a third base, which is almost complete now. So, Ryung is in a much tougher spot than he was last game.
Ryung actually is playing a bit safer now. I don't think he's going to commit to drop. He knows if he has actually scouted his opponent, which he has, he saw the late third, which means he can pretty safely just eco up on his bases, build up his army, get his tech up, get his army going. Doesn't feel too pressured to actually get any real pushing power on right now.
No. Although, I have to wonder if he wants to take a third base, and whether or not we'll just see Impact kind of try to expand all over the map. Lurkers are, of course, more effective if you're able to place them in choke points, and also if you have enough of them to be able to kind of obliterate those bioforces before they're able to scan, move in, and kill them. So he's going to have to be careful with his positioning here. So, drop capability is done. Pneumatosis Carapace is almost done. Lurkers are setting up on the side of the natural here. We see a couple of Lurkers also buried on a potential third location.
Oh, if those Lurkers moved out of position, letting the bio kind of run free out and push out, take down that Overseer. And,
oh, there we go.
He moved those Lurkers because he wants to be ready for a drop into the natural. Alright, it's going to be double Overlord. It's going to be double drop.
That it will. Well, there's already Marines.
Well. Ooh.
Yeah, he does. Okay, let's see one. Okay, so Impact is now dropped into the main. It is inside the vision range of Ryung, though. And this one's going to head over the other side. It's not particularly well synced up, but it is going to draw these Marines all the way into the corner. The scan goes in. He sacrifices the Lurkers because he knows, oh, well, I might be able to get this drop into my opponent's natural mineral line.
That siege tank range, I think it's just out of range, just barely. Oh, it gets him down.
Nice little bit of damage being done there. He's going to have to redeploy and scan, of course. Only 2 workers killed, though.
Pick up the Lurkers. You don't need to lose them for free.
Yep, he's going to pick him up eventually. He wanted to, I think, force a stim out there, and he gets out. The Marines now move down to the 4th base location. Don't find anything. They're going to be considering going to the 3rd. There's actually no Lurker defense at the 3rd, so if Ryung pokes there, he could do quite a bit of damage.
He's going to take out the drone that was meant to... Nope, they're going to walk by.
Alright, never mind. Medic, get out of the way! Get the base up. What the hell's wrong with you?
Oh, yeah, that is really awkward.
That's going to be a few drones killed, certainly. The Lurkers are now coming in. There's enough Lurkers. Oh, the Hydra spawn into a rain of bullets. That's not what you want. And another Lurker is going to die. This force will, of course, die, but I think taking a few drones, 2 Hydralisks, forcing mining time away and killing a Lurker, probably worth it.
And those Marines are still there. They can move back behind the natural. Oh, there's a Lurker drop at the top again. It came back. Whoa!
Oh! Brutal!
Lined up perfectly.
Don't do that. Alright, that's a Terran player learning the pain of Blue Flame Hellion right there.
There's a Ryung shoved at the front, looking for a weak spot, but there's a bunch of Lurkers in position, so nothing happened there.
Well, On the plus side, Ryung can't have had too many SCVs anyway, so I guess it's not that bad. He will be able to recover from that without too much of a problem. Now the big shove comes in. There are lurkers moving into position. A scan has already been used here. There's 6 lurkers. I would not want to go into that choke.
Nope.
Absolutely
Especially
not.
with no tanks.
No. No.
Wow, actually, Lynx could run in, do some work.
They could, yeah. They could definitely get past that defense, especially if it were to be combined with a drop. I'm a bit worried for Ryung here. Science Vessel has been deployed, so he will be able to see the lurkers. Those drops are not going to work anymore. Ryung finds himself a 4th base, which he is going to kill. Oh, no, he isn't.
Look at this Overlord spread out of impact. He's got Overlords everywhere. He's going to be very drop capable. I don't know. This is weird. Is he just going to do a really big drop into the main and then drop the natural as well? Lurkers?
He could do. Like. I wouldn't drop the natural, though. There's too many Marines. There's a science vessel there as well, so I don't see a lurker drop working there at all. And there are a bunch of tanks and Marines here as well. A lurker is coming into the mineral line, and it's going to die really before it gets his shot off, so not too worried about that. I think he's using it to try and draw defenses away so he can set up a contain on the natural, maybe?
He could bust into the natural right now with the Ling Lurker. That high ground tank would actually be a big deal, but he could actually get in and deny mine, but looks like he's just hanging back the lurkers. Just containing for the moment.
His 3rd base is pretty secure against this force that Ryung has got. Of course, that he's not using dropships. He is just moving around the map organically here. It's a shame he's not using dropships. He would be able to get into the main and do significant damage if he decided to do that.
Can you imagine why he actually did this really, really wide fan of Overlords? Vision, I guess. Wow,
well, yeah.
Ballsy. He's taking the 3 o'clock.
Well, I mean, he's got lurkers, why not? You know, he's against the Bioforce, and he's also bringing defilers into the mix. He's feeling confident about it.
There are tanks and science vessels. Plenty of tanks.
Ling's coming in, though, and the tanks were not deployed. Lurkers are going to go underneath it, and a Dark Swarm dropped as well. These tanks are going to have to back off at this point.
Oh,
Nerve Jammer goes in, but Nerve Jammer doesn't affect borrowed units, right?
It does.
It does? Oh, they changed that, okay.
Yep.
Oh, look, it's going into the natural
right
now. Oh me, oh my, that's going to be one dead.
At the same time, there's a push in at the natural of impact, and he loses all his defilers, or if he lost 1, he might lose his other 2.
Dark Swarm is down, and frankly, Ryung's in the middle of that, so he doesn't care. He's going to keep going, and pushing, and we're now in...
Oh, I mean, lurkers are getting into production!
Ah! It's kind of a base trade, but I think Impact is way ahead in that, and most of these Marines are dead.
Yeah, there's just nothing at Impact's natural anymore. That's all cleaned up. The production is going down. This is so bad.
Yeah, that's the GG, and Impact puts 1 on the board here. Good to see. I didn't want this to be a 3-0.